Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jeremy Caverly, also known as Jeremy C on Twitter and a lot of other places out there online. Just wanted to check into the community here at Label 2.0 and Gen Y Rockstars and give a little bit of background on the project that I've been working on with a hip-hop duo here in the DC area called Panacea. And Greg did a post on Mashable.com actually that's gotten some great feedback. It's actually, I believe, still the #1 trending topic in the entertainment category, and was actually on the front page of Mashable.com for a period on Friday. And basically he outlined some of the new and innovative ways that artists and groups like Panacea are reaching out to their fans. And I'm actually the director of new media and digital distribution for Panacea, and it was just a real pleasure to be featured in his piece. And big shout out to Greg for giving us the exposure for the work that we've done. We've seen great reviews from the fans of Panacea, basically thanking us for the opportunity of the project that we're doing. And I just wanted to give a little bit of background about the project and basically how we're using Kickstarter as a tool to give our most committed, most dedicated fans of the group the ability to help support the group with their new album that's coming out called 12-Step Program, going to be coming out in April actually. A lot of the strategies that we're using for Panacea come directly from things like Label 2.0 community and things like the new music economy training programs that Greg has been just so great at trying to push out there to the independent artists out there. Now, I've had quite a bit of experience in the market myself, so a lot of it are things that I knew previously, but it's always good to have those strategies get reinforced to remind you of the things that maybe you've forgotten to go back to. And sometimes it's the basics, sometimes it's new and innovative things that you wouldn't even have thought of. But the #1 thing of our Panacea Kickstarter program was basically that the artists, mainly the producer from the group, K-Murdock, he's on Twitter at Neosonics, he came to me and had an idea that he wanted to be able to press this newest album on vinyl. They do very progressive hip hop, and K-Murdock produces some of just the most crazy soundscapes for their tracks, and it really comes alive on a piece of analog vinyl. And the cost to print and press up vinyl is pretty prohibitive to be able to put that out there without some sort of a label backing. And being as how that's basically the whole notion of this Label 2.0 community and Gen Y Rockstars, we decided we'd use a new strategy with a website called Kickstarter.com. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of some of the numbers. And basically, the #1 tenet of our Kickstarter program was that we wanted to have a limited press of vinyl, have a very even smaller limited of that main press be hand numbered and hand signed by the artists K-Murdock and Raw Poetic, and to make those available to the fans who would commit a certain level of funding towards the actual project of getting them pressed up. And if you go to the project, which there'll be links here with the video, you'll see the tiers of funding and support that we set up. And you'll also see, if you noticed, that most of the higher tiers are the ones that are more popular. We've had very few people that have just wanted the digital download or just wanted a CD. Most people are going for the $25 and $35 support levels because we're adding quite a bit of extra value for very small amounts of incremental cost. But the one really interesting thing that I think has come from this whole project that we've done, and we've successfully funded what our goal was. Our goal was initially $3,800, and at this time right now we're bumping up towards $5,000 total raised for the project. One of the most interesting things, which I think goes back to something that Seth Godin had posted about on his blog recently about finding your 1,000 true fans. Now, the 1,000 number obviously can be a ratio for anybody. 1,000 might be for somebody who's a major label artist or something like that. But if you're talking proportionally speaking, our #1 driver to our Kickstarter program was Panacea's mailing list, which K-Murdock has cultivated over a number of years. This is actually their 5th studio album. And they produced 2 albums under Ruckus Records and actually toured a lot on the West Coast and up and down the East Coast previously in the last few years. So they did have a chance to build up quite a following and had a list of just about 2,000 email subscribers, which was our #1 way to push people. Based on the 2,000 number of the people that we had to directly reach out to, and besides Facebook and Twitter and K-Murdock's blog, which are all the other types of ways that we got the word out, certainly probably the most of the people, though we don't have the exact metrics on the back end, probably the most of the people that came and supported the project were people that had been subscribe to that email list. And that goes back to another thing that I know Greg talks about a ton, is to make sure and get an email address from everybody that you possibly can, be that at a show or somebody that visited your website or somebody that downloaded a free track that you offered or something like that. Make sure and get that email address, because it's a direct connection, and no type of this other social media stuff is as important as that email, because you'll send somebody an email and it might sit in their inbox for a while, and they might see you on Twitter, they might see you on Facebook, but it'll be a while before that email filters off the front of their main inbox. And once they do see it, generally you're going to be able to convey quite a bit of information that wouldn't be available on just like a Facebook post or a Twitter post or something like that. Now, one of the biggest things that I think relates to what I've been talking about with this find your 1,000 top fans, and I think if you're going to say proportionally speaking, is that we set up two levels, a $100 level and a $200 level. And we actually started with just 5 $100 levels and 3 $200 levels. And we had so many people contacting us that they wanted to get into the $200 level that we actually had to add 2 more to it. And basically the $100 level includes most everything on the project. You get a vinyl, you get a CD, t-shirt, poster, all that stuff. But the big step up into the $100 tier was that you'll actually be on a personal, what'll essentially be a 5-person email list, that anything that K-Murdock, Raw Poetic, Panacea as them together, or any of the other several projects that K-Murdock is involved with, including Ebony Bed, Mega Ran with Random, anything like that, those people are going to actually receive all that music that's produced from now through a year forward. And then at the $200 level, you get all that, and then you also get the entire Panacea back catalog, as well as other projects that K-Murdock and Raw Poetic have been part of. And if you look at the numbers and how that breaks down, one of the real key things is that, so we had 5 people at the $100 level and 5 people at the $200 level, and that adds up to $1,500, which right now is 30% of our total take. So if you think about it, what is essentially 10 people and is only 1%, actually 0.5% of the mailing list, they actually comprise 30% of the money that we've taken in for this. And obviously, as far as incremental cost to us to provide that stuff to them, it's basically nil. We're going to be providing it all digitally, especially the back catalog and probably all of the new stuff going forward as well. So without any incremental cost, we've still added a ton of value to those fans, where they're just happy to trade way more money than what that thing would have cost them for the ability of that exclusivity, and is really having a very close relationship to somebody that they're obviously a very big fan of, which is what Seth Godin talks about having your 1,000 most committed true fans and marketing premium products to them. You see a lot of it with people like Radiohead, Name Your Own Price for the album. One that I'm a big fan of is the Beastie Boys. You know, they're selling hundreds and hundreds of dollars for what is essentially 4 pieces of vinyl that probably cost them $20 to get pressed, if even that. And what happened here with our Kickstarter thing is that basically all the profit margin from what we're able to sell these premium packages for, that margin now goes into inventory and gets put aside for possible touring expenses, and basically gives us a pool to pull from. And as the album goes out and releases at the first part of April, we're going to have all of that for inventory to go on and then go out and market an album just like you already would, but without having to put out that upfront cost and investment, not really knowing what may or may not happen with that inventory. And the other thing is that we know exactly what we're paying to press up with this vinyl is basically already spoken for and already paid for before even putting down any money up front to get them pressed. Greg asked me if I could record something real quick, and I hope I haven't gone on too long for you guys. But this is the type of thing that you're going to learn as being part of the Label 2.0 community, also as part of the new music economy system. These are all the types of things that you'll see where this value comes from, and how your most ardent, dedicated, supportive fans can make more than their share of difference in your financial success, and even possibly helping to spread the word for your music and your group. If you have any questions at all for me or want to ping me directly, I'm Jeremy C at Twitter. You can also email me anytime. It's jwc@jeremycaverly.com. I'll look forward to speaking to you and maybe meeting you guys out there on the road or at some type of an event. Keep up the great work, Greg. Thanks so much for featuring us, and we're looking forward to working with you more down the road.